going to look at a little bit more about the story of Hannah today, and how Hannah is a story about a woman's faithfulness and dedication to God through good and bad and through prayer. So if I'm going to need some help, it can be young people, old people, any age people. That would be great. We're going to come down here at the front. We're going to go through the story of Hannah, and we're going to go through the emotional ups and downs of the story of Hannah, because it is 2025, and that's what we do. We talk about our emotions. And so if you think Hannah is like as happy as she could possibly be, we might need some adults to just come and help be looking like this looks a bit more exciting. If you think Hannah is about as happy as she could possibly be, which way are we going to go? This way? Towards that end? Okay? If you think Hannah is as happy as she could possibly be, go over that way towards that bit of the table. If you think Hannah is as sad as she could possibly be, like Brody, we're going to go all the way over there to near where Mary is. Okay? Well, we're all going to stay in the middle. We're going to start in the middle. Okay? We're going to start in the middle, and we're going to go through the emotional ups and downs of the story of Hannah. And if you, as adults, want to look at it, you can open your Bibles, either physical Bibles if you've got them, or on your phone. 1 Samuel comes after Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, Samuel. Okay, you ready? So we hear at the beginning, here's Hannah, and she's married, and we don't need to fight about where we are, it doesn't matter, no race, to a chap called Elkanah, but he's also married to another woman called Peninnah. And Peninnah, okay, so how is Hannah feeling? Peninnah has got children, and Hannah can't have children. How is Hannah feeling? Oh, she's really sad, okay? Hannah can't have children, and Peninnah has got children. So Hannah is feeling pretty sad. And then we hear that every year they go up to a place called Shiloh, which is a place where they go to worship God. And they take sacrifices and things like that. And because Elkanah loves Hannah more than he loves Peninnah, he gives her a double portion of food. Okay, so how do we think Hannah's feeling at this point? Is she super, super happy, or is she just a little bit happy? How happy do we think Hannah's feeling? Okay, some are super happy. Julie's maybe fairly happy. We're not too sure. Medium happy? A bit happy. A bit happy because Elkanah says he loves her, gives her a bit more, but it's difficult. But then what happens, okay? As you might expect, Peninnah is mean to her about not being able to have any children. How do we think Hannah's feeling? It's not nice when people pick on you and are feeling pretty mean, is it? Okay? It says here, her rival used to provoke her severely to irritate her. It's not great, that, is it? So she's feeling pretty fed up. Nobody likes people being mean to them or feeling a bit picked on. That's what was happening to Hannah because she couldn't have children. She was so sad. There she is with her double portion, if you look, that she wouldn't eat. She was so sad, she wouldn't even eat the food. And Elkanah says to her, "Why are you so sad that you're not eating? Aren't I better than having 10 sons?" Wonder how that made Hannah feel. How do you think Hannah feels if Elkanah says to her, "Aren't I better than having 10 sons?" What do we think? We're not sure over there. You feel even more sad. Shelby's feeling even more sad if somebody said that to her. I don't know. How would you feel? They're still sad. I don't know. How would you feel? Would that make you feel better? If he says, "Don't worry about not having children, I love you more than having children." Okay, they're still sad. Okay, so Hannah then goes off, and it says she presents herself before the Lord, and she starts to pray. And she says that she was deeply distressed, prayed to the Lord, and wept bitterly about not having a baby. And she's praying to God so much. So it says are you weeping bitterly, Georgia? We're weeping bitterly. Are you very sad? Super sad? A little bit sad? That's got rid of them over there. They're weeping bitterly because she couldn't. And she prays to God that God would give her a son, and that if God gave her a son, she would dedicate that son to God. And it says she continues to pray, and Eli, the priest, comes, and Eli thinks that she's drunk because her mouth is moving, but he can't hear it because she's praying silently. So we've had Hannah weeping bitterly and praying out loud to God, and now she's praying silently but still fervently. Her mouth is moving, and she's deeply troubled. It says, Hannah says, "My Lord, I am a woman deeply troubled. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have been pouring out my soul before the Lord." So how's she feeling? She's pouring out her soul before the Lord. Are we feeling a bit better as we pour out our soul before the Lord? Maybe we are. Even though we're sad, sometimes if we can pour out our soul to God, we begin to feel like those burdens are maybe lifted. And then Eli realizes she's not drunk. And he's listening to her. And he answers her. It says, Eli answers, "Go in peace. The God of Israel grant the petition you have made to him." So how is Hannah feeling now? She feels Eli's listened to her. And he's saying to her, go in peace. Go in peace. And may God hear your prayer. And then the story tells us that Hannah goes back to where her husband is, and she begins to eat, and she drinks, and it says her countenance was no longer sad. Oh, they're going to the happy place over there. So she's feeling better. She's prayed, she's poured out her heart to God. Somebody who's a priest has listened to her, somebody she could confide in, somebody she could tell all those things within her heart. That person blesses her, tells her to go in peace, and also prays that the God of Israel would listen to her petition. She goes back. She's no longer sad. They get up in the morning, and they go back to worship God at the house of the Lord. They return to their house. Elkanah and Hannah are husband and wife. The Lord remembers her, and she conceives a son. Can you get any further? How's Hannah feeling? Sick. Thanks, Julie. We don't know that for certain. She could have had a very smooth and easy pregnancy. We don't know. But she becomes pregnant, and she has a son. And it says she names him Samuel. And Samuel means I have asked him of the Lord. I have asked him of the Lord. So the next year when it's time, the others go up to worship. But Hannah stays initially. She weans Samuel. And she says, I'll take him back to the temple when he's weaned. So when he's weaned, her and Elkanah go back to the temple, and she goes and she finds Eli. And she says to Eli, "Oh, my Lord, as you live, my Lord, I am the woman who was standing here in your presence praying to the Lord." It's like, do you remember the woman who looked a little bit crazy? And it's me and the Lord, this child I prayed for, the Lord has granted. How's she feeling now? So she's saying that child that she's prayed for has been granted, but she's bringing him back to the temple to leave him with Eli. This is a tricky one. How do we think she might be feeling? A bit in the middle, a bit happy and sad. She says, therefore I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he is given to the Lord. As long as he lives, he is dedicated to God for life. Happy that she's had a son. I think probably happy that she can dedicate him to the Lord. But there must be a bit of her that's feeling, I'm going to miss my son. But then Hannah prays this amazing prayer of praise. I think there's one more slide. There she is. This is a Message version. Says, I am bursting with God news. I am walking on air. I am laughing at my rivals. I'm dancing my salvation. Georgia, can you dance your salvation? There we go. So there's a joy in Hannah as she prays. She lifts up her praise and her prayer to God. I am bursting with God news, walking on air. I'm laughing at my rivals. I'm dancing my salvation. So through this story, we see Hannah on this journey. Life is not always great. She has a husband who loves her. That's great. But she has no children. And that is a shame thing for that culture, isn't it? It's hard. And she's also got this difficult relationship with this other woman. But through that, Hannah stays faithful. She goes to the temple and she prays. And as she prays, the way she prays, it says she pours out. She weeps bitterly. She prays to the Lord, deeply distressed. And she continues to pray. She brings that. She talks to somebody who comes to see what's going on. She shares that prayer. She receives a blessing, and somebody else is praying with her that God would grant her heart's desire. And then her prayer comes true, and she's able to then give back to God in prayer, both in the child that she's had, but also in this prayer of praise and exaltation of thanking God. So really it's just a story of how prayer can travel with us through our lives. Travel with us when things are really hard. Go with us when things go well for us and our prayers are answered. Be with us when we maybe feel some of those tensions of happy and sad. But the joy is that God is with us in all of those things, and we can go to him in prayer.